Hello students, now in this video I am going to tell you, I am going to teach you about the human brain. We are not going to go in very much deep for your 10th class in this video. I am only going to cover the portion which is there in your NCERT book. So I am not going to go in very much deep because it is not very much important for the CBSE board examination. We are going to focusing on that 10th class CBSE examination. So I'm just superficially I'm going to whatever it is there in the NCERT book, that is what I am going to teach you here. Now the human brain and the spinal cord. The human brain and the spinal cord make the central nervous system. You already know. Now this is the brain, and let us suppose this is the spinal cord. This is the brain and this is the spinal cord. And these two makes the CNS, that is the central nervous system. The central nervous system, CNS. And there are nerves which arise from the spinal cord. There are nerves which arise from the spinal cord, which is known to be as the spinal nerves. And there are nerves which arises from the brain, which is known to be as the cranial nerves. Now these two makes the system which is known to be as PNS. Here P is peripheral nervous system, and the brain and the spinal cord makes the central nervous system. Now, so these PNS, that is the peripheral nervous nerves, these cranial and the spinal nerves are going to bring the message to the brain and the spinal cord from all parts of the body, and also carries the message which is given by the brain and the spinal cord to the various effector muscles. Now the effector muscles are going to perform the action for the message which is given by the brain and the spinal cord. Now, so brain is like a CPU. Now you know computers. Now the computer, the CPU, that is the central processing unit, is there. Now our brain is acting like that only. So all the informations gathered there, all the memories were there, and all the actions performed by our body is controlled by the brain. So what actually we have to study here? We have to study here the parts of the brain. Now you can see the diagram. There are three major parts. The one is known to be as the forebrain. The second part is known to be as the midbrain. And the third is known to be as hindbrain. So three, the forebrain. Now you can see the part. Now this part is known to be as the forebrain. Here this part is known to be as the midbrain, and this part is known to be as the hindbrain. So the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. These are the major three parts, and we have to learn the role and the function of each part. Now the brain is very much protected by our skull. The brain is very much protected by our skull, and the skull is known to be as the cranium. Cerebrum and hypothalamus. Cerebrum and hypothalamus is the part of forebrain. Below the forebrain and between the hindbrain there is a portion which is known to be as the midbrain, and below the midbrain there is a portion which is known to be as the hindbrain. And hindbrain is basically made up of three regions. The first region is known to be as the pons, P-O-N-S, pons. The second region is known to be as the medulla, M-E-D-U-L-L-A, medulla. And the third portion, which is known to be as the cerebellum. So cerebellum, medulla, and pons. These are the regions of the hindbrain. Now here there is a continuous nerves which is known to be the spinal cord, as I told you previously. So the hypothalamus and the pituitary glands have very much different functions. They are glands also. So we are going to study one by one the action, what is the function of the forebrain, then the function of the midbrain and the function of the hindbrain and their parts. Now the function of the forebrain. Now the forebrain, I divided the forebrain into two parts. The one is the cerebrum. The first is the cerebrum and the second is the hypothalamus. I divided the forebrain into two parts. The one is the cerebrum and the second is the hypothalamus. Now the function of the cerebrum. The first function of the cerebrum is it is the thinking part of the brain. So all whatever the thinking is there, whatever we think that information is processed in this part, cerebrum part. Now you can see the cerebrum here. You can see the cerebrum here. Now that is the main thinking part of the brain. Now this portion, the cerebrum, also controls the voluntary actions. It controls the voluntary actions. Voluntary actions, I told you, these are the actions which are performed in the previous video. I told you the voluntary actions are those actions which are performed by our body, by our will. We can control those movements. So all the voluntary actions, if I am running, if I am walking, if I am riding something, if I am throwing something, that these are all voluntary actions. If I am eating something, that is all voluntary actions which is controlled by the forebrain. Second, it stores the information. Third, actually, it stores the information. It stores the information, or you can say the memory of. You can say the memory. So all the memory part is there in this cerebrum only. And last, the fourth one, it receives the sensory impulses. It receives the sensory impulses from the various parts of the body and integrate it. Now what does it mean? Sensory impulses. It means that all the messages, if somebody is touching me, or if I am feeling cold, or if these are all sensory impulses. So these sensory impulses, if somebody is biting me, or if I am feeling hunger, not hunger actually. So whatever the sensory impulses it receives from the various parts of the body and integrate it. Now integration means, I am going to give you one example. Now let us say someone is calling from me backside. So my ear receives the impulses, stimulus from the back, that somebody is calling by my name. So that information is going to process here. Now how that information is going to process? Now there is an involvement in the memory also, whether I know that voice or not. If I know that voice, or if I want to know that voice, surely the message passes from my brain to my muscles that stop and look back. Who is calling? Like that. So all this thing occurring in the cerebrum. So main 4 points I written for you. Now the next thing is the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is also a gland, and it is a part of the human brain. Now what hypothalamus controls? Now it controls the sleep and wake cycle. हम रात में जागते हैं और सोते हैं, और वो जो रात में जागना और सोना जो है, that is also known as circadian rhythm. So circadian rhythm, that is the sleep and the wake cycle, is controlled by this hypothalamus. And last function of the hypothalamus is to control the urge of eating and drinking. To control the urge of eating and drinking. That means the eating and the drinking. We feel urge of this eating and drinking, and that is controlled by the hypothalamus. So next topic is the next portion which I am going to explain you is the midbrain. We are going to discuss. Now the function of the midbrain. The function of the midbrain, the first function is to control the motor movements. What are the motor movements? Motor means the movement. Motor means the movement. So all the motor movements is controlled by the midbrain, particularly the eyes. The movement of the eyes is controlled by this midbrain. And the second thing, it helps in the auditory, सुनने वाले और देखने वाले जितने भी मैसेजेस हैं इनको प्रोसेस करने का काम है. दे इन्वॉल्व, दे हेल्प्स इन द ऑडिटरी एंड विजुअल प्रोसेसिंग. That is the function. This is the only two function of the midbrain, which I found in your NCERT book. Maybe there are more, but I found only two, and these two are very much good enough for you. So the next is the hindbrain, and you know that. The next is the hindbrain. Now the function of the hindbrain. Now the hindbrain is having the three parts: the medulla, pons, and cerebrum. Now you can clearly see here the pons, medulla oblongata also is the name, medulla oblongata, but I am simply pronouncing the medulla for you. So the pons, medulla and the cerebellum. Don't confuse between the cerebellum and the cerebrum. Okay, these are two different parts and two different words. Now the hindbrain is actually consists of the medulla and medulla and pons are basically responsible for the involuntary actions. Now what are the function of medulla? So medulla is responsible for involuntary functions, whatever the involuntary functions performed by our body. For example, the breathing, the vomiting, the sneezing, etc. Now the breathing, vomiting, sneezing, we don't have any control on them, and that is why we are calling them involuntary functions, and it is controlled by the medulla. Now the pons region, PONS pons region, it helps in the solving, the bladder, the urinary bladder we are talking about. The bladder control and the facial expression. What are the expressions is done by our performed by our brain, our face. It is controlled by this pons. So helps in solving, bladder control and expression. The etc is written, that means there are other functions also, but what I found the three important main functions for it. Now the last thing which is known to be as the cerebrum. The last thing which is known to be as the cerebrum. Now cerebrum is responsible for the voluntary actions such as the posture. This is the question which is there in your NCERT book also. This is the question which is there in your NCERT book also. Now it is responsible for the voluntary actions such as the posture. I think all of you know what is posture is. The balance and the coordination in the body. Now I'm giving you one example: walking in a straight line, balancing the bicycle. Now these are all things which is performed by the cerebellum, not cerebrum. My mistake. Please make sure this thing. My mistake. Cerebellum. Okay? Cerebellum. Now the cerebellum is responsible for the voluntary actions such as the posture, balance, and the coordination in the body. Now these are the main parts and their function: the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. And I written all the functions on the board. So please go through these functions and the diagram of the human brain. Now the next portion of your NCERT book is that how these organs are protected. How these organs are protected. So the brain, I already told you that brain is protected by cranium. This brain is protected by cranium, which is known to be skull also. So it is very much, cranium is very, very hard. So it is protected by this brain, the soft tissue is protected by the cranium, that is the skull. May this question asked in the examination that how these brain and the spinal cord is protected, and the spinal cord. This spinal cord is protected by our vertebral column. तो vertebral column, रीढ़ की हड्डी जिसे बोलते हैं. So vertebral column, the backbone. These are the backbone of the vertebral column. The cranium. These are protecting the brain, respectively spinal cord. So the brain and spinal cord is protected by the cranium or the skull or vertebral column in the local language backbone, respectively is protected. So this is the part, the human brain, and the rest of the topics. Now in the next video we are going to see the coordination in plants. So it is very important to go through these videos and complete my assignment what I am giving to you. Thank you.